I mentioned I talked to Modern Family creator Steve Levitan, and he said Eric's a warrior. His mind doesn't stop. He's a person who feels he needs to fix things. He has this sense of justice. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I could have almost written Steve's description of me based on that. The thing I'll say about Steve, and I get emotional because those two guys changed my life, man. Steve and Chris. They changed my life. And Steve and I, we share some of the same qualities, but he's a warrior. He cares, has a deep care. And he took the time to see that a lot of that can manifest into a not great way. And he took the time to know that, doesn't make me a bad guy, that I have a sense of justice and want things to be right, and that I care, and that I can't not worry about everything. And that's what I would say to anyone going on to be on a sitcom for 11 years, is you can't worry about everything that's going on. Because what Steve doesn't know is crew members would tell me and talk to me about all that stuff, because they identified me as the guy to go and talk to about it. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna go to Ed O'Neill. You're not gonna go to Sophia. So a lot of things on set trickled to me. And then I, being me, my father's son, I have the choice to make. Well, do I try to make change for people? Or do I look at somebody in the eye and say, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm an actor.
And that's what he said. He said on set, you took the responsibility of having to look out for everyone in your mind when he didn't have to. And he said that he prefaced it with saying, I say this in the best way possible.
Yeah. Well, and I would just disagree that every once in a while I did have to. That's all I would say.
Yeah.
I would say he's mostly right, that I didn't have to. But remember, information doesn't always trickle up. Steve and Chris are the bosses.
Right.
There's someone in there that doesn't want Steve and Chris to know stuff, and that all trickles down, right? And so sometimes the stuff that didn't trickle up needed to get there somehow, and that's how I felt what my role was every once in a while.
And one of the things he said he loved about you was the fact that, you guys would occasionally get into it, and he could always trust you to speak your mind.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case with somebody you work with, where you actually always know where you stand.
I just was never the type of person that would walk on set and make conversation to make conversation. I always felt having an authentic moment with me meant way more than me pretending in that moment to care what you did over the weekend. We're gonna get to what you did over the weekend, and we're probably gonna talk about it, but we're gonna talk about it in an organic way, in a real way, that's a conversation that's not me talking at you so that you don't talk to me. That's how a lot of actors, I feel. A lot of actors will just talk at you to keep you at a space, and then you never really get to know them, because they just keep you here. Well, I look at relationships as we're gonna grow here.
How was having Kobe on set?
That was awesome. Kobe, I'd met him and just casually said to him one day, because he was a fan of the show, I knew he was, I said, Kobe, you should stop by sometime and just hang out and watch us rehearse and shoot. He's like, I'm gonna do that. And then one day somebody was like, hey, did you hear Kobe's coming to set today? I'm like, no. Are you for real? Yeah. So he came and watched us. It's the episode where Julie and I are redoing a house, wearing a yellow Western shirt and a bandana. And Kobe came and spent the entire day. And at one point I was like, man, that's so cool you came. And he was like, well, you told me to come sometime. And I'm like, yeah, I know I did, but I didn't know. He's like, yeah, he said, I woke up and I wanted to laugh. And when you're Kobe Bryant, it just means you go watch the show you're a fan of.
We did a taping with him a while back, and the one thing I remember is he made you feel like you were the only person in the room when he was talking to you.
Awesome guy. My last interaction with him was we were in Las Vegas with Paul and my friend Stacy, and we're walking into catch, and he's walking out, and he always had the security guy with him. And I start walking right towards Kobe because I know he knows me, and it's not going to be like, get away from me. But that security guard immediately gets his hand up, and Kobe's like, man, like, dap me up. It was great.